I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and on this episode of Hot Laps, Mustangs invade SEMA. All right, what's up, guys? Justin, AmericanMuscle.com here. We got the marching band kicking us off this year. We're gonna be bringing you my top picks of the SEMA show in regards to Mustangs. I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of electric Mustangs this year. It's kind of the theme of the show, but we're gonna see what we can find and see what we can show you guys. So as always, if you dig the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel, but let's get to it. All right, guys, every year we have to make it into the Ford booth because it is the mecca of all of the awesome Ford builds here at SEMA. But not only does it feature some of the raddest builds, there are also some pretty cool new products. Case in point, check this out behind me. This is called the E-Luminator. Yes, now a lot of my Mustang guys know about the Luminator, right? Your high or low compression 5-liter forged power plant, basically a drop-in swap. Well, this is gonna go to that same kind of idea, except the E being electric, right? So new swap possibility. If you want to dump one of these in your Fox body and your Pinto and whatever, you're not getting a ton of power, but you're getting some pretty cool stuff, right? 281 horsepower, just over 300 pound-feet of torque. And this is the future, man. Again, this right here is a good indication of what we're going to see in the Ford booth. A lot of electric. That seems to be a big theme of the show this year. So whether you're ready for it or not, guys, Ford is going ahead and capitalizing on the electric movement. But what do you say we check out the rest of the builds here in the booth? Let's go. All right, guys, top pick here of the show is actually gonna be picks, plural. That might be cheating, but you know what? This is my damn video and I make the rules. We got a couple of rides here from Chin. Basically, he's a custom builder that we've seen over the years at SEMA, mainly dealing with a lot of the Ford stuff, and this year is no different. He brought not one, but two really badass rides that are very modern, and I'm sure will be polarizing, but you know what? They're done up, and they actually both split Best of Show awards. So let's take a closer look at both of them here because they're both in the booth. We're gonna first show you this S550 EcoBoost. I really love the seafoam color, the seafoam green, slammed on air, Vossen wheels, as you guys can see. Ton of carbon fiber here in the grill area, the lower chin. I really like the headlight detail. Obviously, you got some custom lighting going on in there. Big fan of the Vossen wheel. And of course the Brembo combination there, the Wilwood combination, as you can see. Actually, these are Bear brakes, I apologize. It's got the Chin Edition in the Bear combo. Very, very cool, very custom. This is the high performance 2.3 liter EcoBoost Mustang. Listen, I used to surf back in the day before I got fat and old. Really digging the surfboard rack on top. Check out this interior here, guys. Really awesome, white leather seats. You know, it just really flows well with the seafoam green color, and I'm a big fan of just a slammed S550. I think it looks great. Euro style lights here. We got more of the carbon fiber going on back here as well. So overall, really clean S550 build. But let's check out something that I actually think is pretty rad. And I know people are still up in arms about the Mach-E being called a Mustang, but you know what? That's neither here nor there. Let's take a closer look at this Mach-E, again by Chin. You'll see the Best in Show award right here that he split with the S550. So it was getting noticed, but check this thing out, guys. Slammed on air. This is the first Mach-E on air. And more importantly, check this out. It's solar panels built in. So what that's gonna do is actually be able to charge not only the lithium-ion batteries on board, but also things like your cell phone, other accessories, and oh yeah, your e-bikes. Look at this. So this rig is purpose-built, and as you can see, we got the solar panels implemented not only into the spoilers, but also the roof as well. So very functional stuff overall. We got the Recaros here, color matched seat belts. A really beautiful ride. I'm a big fan of this, but we got to get you to the money shot over here. Let's check it out. Look at this. I mean, talk about straight out of the future. You got your compressor and your tank for the air ride setup. Obviously, some lighting going on. But check this out too, guys. These are GT, Mach-E GT lights. One of the first swaps going on. I actually talked to Chin about it. He said it was not easy. He had to splice out 4 different harnesses in order to get them to work on the car. And not only that, he said if the lights weren't plugged in, the car wouldn't run. So this thing for better or worse, is very modern, to the point where if you don't have like a headlight plugged in, or the door isn't on, or something, like the car will just straight up not run. So certainly not like the Mustangs of old for sure, but it is a Mustang, whether you guys want to say it is or not, because Ford said so. But overall, guys, two really sharp rides from Chin. Again, there you go, the Chin Edition, and really cool stuff, guys. I'm actually talking to him, and he was saying he's got something big in store for next year for another electric vehicle. This one might be a little bit bigger. There's a little hint for you, and he's got some pretty radical plans. But overall, Chin Edition, another couple killer SEMA builds, and good enough to award Best in Show. All right, guys, behind me, probably one of the most polarizing cars here in regards to Mustangs for Mustang fans, and let me explain. So obviously this is a Mach-E GT, and done up by none other than Shelby American themselves. So what Shelby was dealt with here is trying to make a bigger, dare I say, Mustang SUV look the part, right? And I would argue they have. This front end has really got me. Kind of a carbon fiber here, composite grille. Obviously we got the Mach-E GT horse, Shelby logoing there, but they've opened up the grille because yes, there are actually radiators in this thing to cool the batteries and all that stuff. So this is going to be a functional thing. I was actually talking to Gary Patterson. He said this car was up into the wire, guys. So the fact that it's here on the floor at Ford is really impressive. They actually got some active aero coming through this opening and then coming up and out of the hood to kind of give the car a little bit more downforce. So, you know, listen, I know some people might not be in love with the Mach-E, especially calling it a Mustang, and now putting the Shelby name on it, but you have to admit, I mean, the car is no slouch performance-wise, and with some of the additions that Shelby has put on this car, the fender flares, we got some other stuff going on, obviously the badging with Shelby, I would say they did a pretty good job of giving it a more aggressive look. But as always, we want to know from you guys. I have a feeling what you're thinking about this, but I want to know, are you digging the Shelby electric vehicle here? Gary was telling me that Carroll was excited for the future in regards to electric. I also asked him at the same time if he thought this would be his idea of what the future was. He kind of was not too sure on that, but regardless, Gary, Shelby, they understand the market is going that way, so rather than be behind, they want to be out in front. And that's why they're actually messing around with these things, making them cooler, maybe making them faster. I don't know, the jury is still out on that, but in the meantime, definitely a hot topic here at SEMA. All right, guys, I'm standing in front of another one of my picks here from the 2021 SEMA show. Check this thing out, right? Beautiful 69 Coyote swapped, right? Not so fast. If you take a closer look, what you're actually looking at here is a 2012, yes, a 2012 GT that has been designed to look like a 69. Actually, not just any 69, but the Boogeyman from the John Wick movies. How cool is this? Now, this beauty's done by Duncan Brothers Customs, and you can actually do something like this to your own S197. If you have a donor car, doesn't really matter how rough of shape it's in, you can create something like this for about $50,000. And this is really awesome. So obviously you got your modern powertrain, driveline, things like that. It's gonna ride like an S197, which, let's be honest, is a lot better than a 60s Mustang, but you're getting that kind of retro vibe. This isn't all they do too. We're gonna show you another car that they do, more of a GT500 look, but how beautiful is this, guys? And on top of that, there's actually some parts from us here at AmericanMuscle.com on this beautiful build. He said his throttle body, the intake, some suspension parts. So that's very humbling. But let's just take a quick look at the rear end here as well. So there you go. Wicked 69. If you didn't know any better, a very clean 69 Mustang. But beneath the new body panels, beneath everything else, you're getting 2012 GT with all the modern amenities. So let's go check out the other GT500 real quick and see what that's all about. There you go, guys. If you want a 69 Mustang, but listen, we all know it's getting harder and harder to afford these things anymore. Well, now you can have one. Just start with a 2011, 2012 S197 Mustang, 50 grand in about a year's worth of wait time, and this beauty can be yours too. All right, guys, Ford out front, you see it right there, the place where it all goes down for Ford. burnouts, drifting. Looks like a whole bunch of Broncos. Let's go see if we can find some Mustangs. All right, guys, my final picks for this year. I know a lot of you are gonna be upset with me, but you know what? I can only pick with what I'm given, right? And this is no doubt the year of the electric Mustang. So with that being said, my top picks again, I'm going for a twofer here. It's my video, I make the rules. Are done up by none other than Ford Performance and the crew at RTR. So up first, guys, we got the Mach-E 1400. Look at this thing. Again, you probably have seen this thing around. It might have looked a little bit differently. There is a new livery on it right now for SEMA, but over 1,400 horsepower. And that power can be biased to all wheels, rear wheels, whatever. So if you want it to be a grip machine, it can grip. If you want to turn it into a drift machine, it can drift. Do whatever you want. And it is just outrageous. Let's look inside here, guys. All the Recaros. This is just an incredible feat of engineering. You can really see the cables going through the center console there. And just look at the aero on this stuff, guys. This is absolutely ridiculous. But again, as I pointed out earlier, this is a twofer here. And what we got here is the Cobra Jet 1400. So this, guys, just like what we saw over there, all electric power plant, over 1,400 horsepower. In fact, 1,500 horsepower to be exact. Enough to power this thing to a low 8-second quarter mile time, 8.1, and wheel stands well past 60 foot. It is just ridiculous. Let's take a closer look at this. Now here's your power plant, or motor, I guess I should say. I'm being correct terminology here. So S550 Cobra Jet, all electric. Let's look at the interior. And this is the future, guys. Whether you want to embrace it or not, this is the future. All electric, and both of these rigs really showcase the capabilities of electric propulsion. Again, 8-second quarter mile time, wheel stands down to the 330, or you got the Mach-E 1400, which can grip, it can drift, it can do it all. So there you have it, guys. Again, I know I'm gonna ruffle a lot of feathers with that, but as I pointed out earlier, this is the year of the electric car, the Mach-Es, the so forth and so on. So this really wasn't the year of the Mustang, guys. There wasn't a ton to choose from. And the ones that were here were Mach-Es or electric powered. So with that being said, if you gotta go electric, why not go for the baddest ones of them all? Well, guys, that's gonna do it from SEMA. Sorry if you can't hear me. There's a lot of cool going on behind me. Well, guys, as the smoke clears out of another SEMA, that means we're out of here, man. We've had a great time. We saw some of the new cool products Ford's working on, some incredible builds, and it's just been a hell of a time as always. So we hope you guys enjoyed our content. As always, be sure to subscribe, like the video if you dig it. We appreciate it. And hey, what do you say we do this again next year? All right, it's a deal. In the meantime, I'm Justin. Thanks for watching, and for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.